than normal with so many of the big names coming to Holliers, and we know why they're here, but it does make life a little more difficult for those in the hunt for the championship this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's historically been part of Rallycross, that you can come in and do selected events, do your home round. This is what many of these drivers' years will be geared around. Dan Oberg, just seeing pull up to the grid there on the right-hand side as we look. This will be his weekend of weekends. This is what he spends his season dreaming about. This is what a lot of these people spend their life dreaming about, racing here. So, you know, competing in one-off events isn't unusual, but to have the names, as you say, like Johan Andreas and Oliver, etc., taking it to the front runners is not as common as having, you know, weekend drivers lower down the field.
So this is race 2, or warm-up 2. 5 cars, just a couple of laps to get prepared for heat 3. And Andreas Bakkerud, that's actually Evian, Sondre Evian, not Bakkerud. Our apologies for the mistake on the graphic there. We're on board with 73, Tamas Karai. Karai is one of those drivers that's a regular on the European Rallycross Series and picked up some valuable points in the opener. In his own track, Karai was at 7th position. And again, looking good and consistent.
I think disappointed with that opening round, wasn't he, Karai? Wanted more out of his weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also runs his own car, you know, and most of the other top flight teams in VSRX are being run by such experienced outfits. Now, Karai Motorsport is experienced, but you know, when you've got JC Racetech, EKS, Christopherson Motorsport, you know, etc., the list goes on. It's hard to take it to those guys and battle with them, especially when the conditions change. You need to be very reactive. Yeah, it's tough to do it yourself.
Yeah, we've discussed that at length before. No question of a doubt. Frank Valle down in 20th position after heats 1 and 2.
Was chatting to Sebastian Eriksson last night on Happy Street. Had a little wander up there late in the evening. He was there with his girlfriend, and yeah, he's switched camps now with he's working for the EKS team, spotting for Enzo Ebe. He won this event in that car that Frank Valle is driving this weekend. Only a couple of years ago, just before the pandemic started, he won the World Championship round here in that very Fiesta. So Frank knows he's got the equipment underneath him, just a case of extracting all of that performance. And it's so hard, as Andreas mentioned in that interview there with Molly, it's so hard to jump in these cars and extract every bit of potential when you're not in them all the time. And Ian, if someone like Andreas is saying that, then for someone like Frank, who doesn't drive anywhere near as frequently as Andreas does, then it's a big ask to come here and perform immediately.
So Evian is picking up the fastest time. He's quicker than Baumanis, maybe helps psychologically more than anything else. There's Johan Kristoffersson, 4 times World Rallycross champion, and I was so impressed with the way he was driving yesterday. I'm not sure whether you want to try and listen into this conversation or not, Hal.
Well, I don't speak Swedish, so it wouldn't be that useful, to be honest, Nick.
Is that the only language you don't speak? That's pretty...
Well, I do speak some Swedish, but